Alright, what is up, guys? I'm joined here today with the one-man army behind Nightmare Among Shadows, which is, if you haven't heard before, an indie horror game set to be released sometime this year. So please welcome none other than Mr. ENP. How you doing, man?
Howdy. Doing fine, I guess.
Alright, so before we start with the really hard questions, if you want to call it like that, can you give us a quick overview of the production details behind Nightmare?
Nightmare is being made using the UDK, Unreal Development Kit, which is the free version of Unreal Engine 3. It's being developed by me, ENP, or my name's Ethan, and I run a studio called Mythic, which is currently just myself and some freelance people on the internet, but I pretty much do all the work on the game. And the game itself will be available on PC and Mac, and there will be an iOS version, which is currently called Into Darkness. And the PC and Mac version will be on Daysura when it's finished, and possibly on Steam if it goes through Greenlight.
Alright, well, that's cool. That's cool. But um, would you mind telling us the main storyline behind the game?
See, that question's an interesting one. Nightmare is, if you read on the IndieDB page, it says that you play as a character with a disturbing past, and he's kind of like lost within himself and the environment that he's in, unable to separate reality from fiction. And I'm trying to go very low on the story. It's not really something that I'm going to give out directly. I don't have a set story that's like a set exposition that gives you an unraveling of what this person is and what he does. It's more of you play through the environment and the scenery, and you put the pieces together yourself. Of course, there will be certain points like there'll be a backstory, and I'm going to try having the character speak at some points to give them some sort of personality. But more or less, I want the game to be something that you piece together yourself through the environment and your surroundings and what you experience.
Alright, so it's gonna sort of be like you make the story of the game, Nightmare.
Yeah, I guess it's like you have an outline, I guess, and you put the pieces together in a way that best suits yourself. And not everybody will be able to experience this right, understandably, but if you if you take the time to engage yourself, I think some people will be able to feel the experience I'm trying to deliver.
Alright. Also, are you thinking of only doing a single player mode, or will there be other game modes involved?
At one point, I did announce that I was working on a multiplayer mode. Uh, the thing is, though, it just proved to be pointless. There was just no reason to continue it. It was a waste of time, and I mean, it'd be fun to do. Like, it's just a silly thing to play with like friends. It was dumb. It was meant to be dumb. And but I want to focus mainly on the single player and the immersion of the single player, as that's the core of the game, is the immersion and the single player.
Yeah, it's understandable. Also, probably the most wanted to heard answer here is, when do you think of releasing a demo and or release of the game?
Well, the demo I wanted to release around April 20th, though that's not an exact set date. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to work out some promotional stuff with somewhat bigger YouTubers and, of course, the gaming network, Necessary Gaming. And it all depends how everything falls around that time frame. And I'm a sucker to feature creep. I always have to. Yeah, I'll freak out. This isn't good enough. It sucks. I gotta make it better. So it's a lot to do with promotional things. I won't put something out unless I'm confident that it won't suck. But I'm pretty sure that it'll be around late April. You'll see a demo, and the full version I really want to get out by October so I can get the iOS one finished by this year too. And if I get those both down this year, I may be able to make some cash to do another game and other projects and whatnot.
Yeah, and also speaking of money, what's going to be the game's pricing?
Uh, it's kind of hard to say because I'm still quite far away from it. Though I want to price it between $10 and $15.
All right, so sort of like how D&D games are priced now.
Yeah, that's the PC one. The
Yeah,
PC and Mac one will be around $10, $15 probably, and the iOS one it could just be 99 cents. I mean,
yeah. Also, other than Nightmare Among Shadows, are Mythic Games thinking of other games to develop, even though it's a little bit early to say?
I constantly think of games I want to make. Like, the thing is, when you're working on a game, you'll come to a point. This happens to me a lot. It's just like you just want to quit, and then you think of a different game, and you work on a concept for like a day, and it's like shit. I got to work on the game I'm working on now. Otherwise, it'll never get done. But I have a few ideas. I've always wanted to make like a very well done Flash game, and I don't know. I wanted to play around with cell shaded type art with the UDK. I think that'd be really cool to make a cell shaded immersive game and things like that. So it'll probably. I'm definitely going to be making more games in the future. It's just I don't know which game I'm going to go with exactly yet. Though, yeah, you can't expect that there will be more in the future.
All right, well, that's all of the questions that we have for you. Would you have any parting words to say?
This is the parting word I always give. It's just for every interview. It's just the thing is like today, indie games are you just gotta if you want to make a game, just pick up an engine and go for it. A lot of things you learn is just screwing around and with this stuff. You don't need to know what it does really. Just put shit in the game and and the editor and see what happens. So I guess that's my thing. Just try doing something. Odds are you'll like it, or I guess you'll hate it. I don't. Then you know what you don't want to do. I guess. But yeah, that's it.
All right, well, thanks for answering our questions. I'm pretty sure that Nightmare Among Shadows is going to have success on its release. It's pretty hyped up on Necessary Gaming. And
Yeah.
also for the viewers, you could, in the description box, I'm going to be leaving a link to Mythic Games' YouTube channel and also their blog. And,
Yep.
well, thanks, ENP.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.